I'm Mike.
And I'm Adam.
And this is Stuff and Waffle. Two friends talking about stuff, and often as not, waffling with frequent reference to Bond cars.
Well, after nearly 2 hours of Bond-based treats last week, I think we're going to have at some proper car stuff this week, aren't we?
Oh, I think back to cars this week. Yes, we'll be coming back to Mr. Bond, of course, in good time. But
yes,
back to some automotive treats this week. Yes,
yes, I think so. There's been a reasonable bit of car news going on. I suppose
a few bits floating about. Yeah,
tends to be after Goodwood. But
true.
Probably for the higher end stuff anyway. No one's showcasing a new Clio or anything like that there, but
no, sadly not. But there were some unveilings there, I believe.
There were, and I think some we should go through. While we jest about people not using Goodwood to unveil sort of boring cars,
ordinary cars that people actually buy.
Yes. This isn't Goodwood related at all. This comes back to what you were saying about the Vauxhall Astra. The launch price of the electric one being a tad daft, I think. What was the figure that you got to? It was 40s, wasn't it?
It was 39,950 was the entry level price on the Astra Estate EV. Yes,
interesting. Because been doing the rounds this week on the socials is the release of the new Corsa EV.
Well, there's been an e-Corsa for a while.
There has, but this is the new one.
The new one, right? Okay.
And it seems to be priced at about £38,000.
Okay, that's gone up then, because I don't think it was that much.
No,
I didn't think it was.
No, that's insane. Let's see.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So only about a couple of grand cheaper than the Astra.
Yes.
That makes no sense. It's half the size for a start.
No, I'm just going to, new look, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, because e-Corsa's been around for a while.
Yeah, it has, but this is the new one. I'm buggered if I can find the link.
I hadn't seen that one. I must admit, that passed me by.
There's a bit of it. Oops. Missed. Why can I not find such things? Maybe I found it. I'm sure I found it on Twitter. I should have prepared, but today has been. It's not been a day for preparing. It's been a day for everyone having their pound of flesh for various things. So
yeah, well that's all right because you can edit out lack of preparedness.
No, I'm not. I won't do that. I'll leave the anger in there.
Fair enough.
There we go. There's yep. The new one. 20,000 in petrol form, rising to 38,500 for top spec electric.
I'm sure that's gone up because I'm sure the original e-Corsa wasn't that much.
I mean,
that makes no sense, particularly in light of the Astra.
I don't get it.
Who's paying 38 grand for a Corsa?
Granted, they're saying that's top specs. I'm just skimming this article a bit more. Okay, so you're still mid-30s for sort of entry level.
I mean, I know EVs are still a bit pricey, but the Corsa is quite a small car.
Mind you say it's quite a small car. I've probably not stood next to one for a while. I bet they're not small.
Oh, well, they're not what we would... Yeah, they're not what we are thinking of as a small car. No, probably not.
I think these Vauxhall prices are just wonky. I don't think they've got the hang of this yet.
Well, as we said before, I mean, you put it in context of what else is on the market. I mean, let's not beat around the bush. You can get a Tesla Model 3 for 42.
Yeah, you can. Hang on, I'm just going to, before I suggest a car, I'm going to check its price before I get too cocky. The price was there, and now it's gone. Oh, there we go. Right. So an entry-level electric Mini is 32.
Yes.
Yeah,
there you go.
Dare I say it's going to be a bit of a nicer final product than the Corsa?
Yes,
Ballsy,
I think that's probably fair. Yeah, I mean, Hyundai Ioniq 5, that starts at 42. So again, you're sort of in the ballpark.
Yeah, like you're saying, they're starting at 42 and go, right, okay, well, these entry-level ones, yeah, all right, you've got to add a bit more, but still, I don't, it doesn't feel like it's priced correctly, does it? That's
No,
the
it
thing.
doesn't. Neither of them do. They're not competitive, I don't think. If you've got about 40 grand to spend on a, well, I was going to say mid-size family hatch. I suppose it's now would be classed as a small-size family hatch. That's a busy part of the market at the moment.
Oh, yes.
There's a lot to choose from. I don't see much of a case as to why you would look to Vauxhall when you've got Hyundai, Kia, Tesla, in fact, in that price range.
Yeah,
it seems MG, as we came to before, MG half that price. Well, maybe not half, but considerably less than that price. MG4 and MG5 less than 30. Less than 30.
I think they just got this wrong. I really do.
Yeah, they have completely. I hadn't heard about the Corsa, but that makes even less sense than the Astra.
Yeah, I just think, all right, yeah, everyone gets sidetracked with their headline figure of the top spec one, but even the entry level, that's too much.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, no, okay. I hadn't intended to dwell on that. I don't know where that came from, but it's just it's been in the back of the head, that one. That's probably why I hadn't prepared it.
Yeah, well, that's fair enough. I mean, I think it's a fair comment. It doesn't make any sense. I'm just looking at Honda E, which is a similar sort of thing to the Corsa. Oh, it's got slightly less range, but that starts at 25 now.
I know which one I'd rather have as well.
Well, there you go, you see. I mean, a Honda or a Vauxhall. Yeah, you're going to have the Honda, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, if you're not going by brand, you could go by, all right, the Honda looks quite fun. It's a bit different. We'll have one of those.
Different, kind of funky. Yeah. It's not got fantastic range, but yeah, it's going to be well built. It's going to be reliable. Yeah, it depends how you use it, exactly. Like you said, the Mini, I think, is a good example.
Yeah, really not the best range at all, but you could daily that with ease.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes no sense. They haven't. I don't think they've either not looked at the market properly, or they've spent too much on developing it.
I wonder which one. I think they just picked a number out of thin air. That's just no, they can keep that. Right. Yeah, that can bugger off. Right, here's another electric car. But back to some of the Goodwood unveilings. Well, I think this was Goodwood anyway, this one.
They had the Electric Avenue, didn't they, at Goodwood, where they'd put all the new up and coming electric cars.
Oh, I missed that entirely. I'm just making names out of a hat here.
Fair dues.
One that I quite liked, purely the look of it, was the Caterham Project V.
Oh yeah. I saw that. Yeah,
that's all electric.
Yes,
single motor. I reckon probably sort of 270-ish horsepower, roughly. 0 to 60 in 4 and a bit seconds. They were targeting a curb weight of about 1,100 kilos, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
It's a bit of, obviously it's still a slight work in progress. 55 kilowatt hour battery, no range disclosed at present.
Is anyone that fussed about the range?
Not in that, no.
No, exactly.
No.
That's not no.
No, not at all. Interesting layout inside, 3-seater, 2 in the front, 1 in the rear. Which
I saw that.
Yeah, but looks tremendous as well.
It really does, doesn't it?
Yeah, a bit different, and I quite like a bit of difference. That's nice.
Yeah, I thought they'd. I thought that looked really smart. They'd put some effort into that. A proper sports car.
Yeah,
it's got a roof. I mean, they've not done that before.
I know it's quite posh for them, isn't it?
It's quite extreme for them. It's got a roof and some doors.
Yeah. I've not read it yet. I've got my latest copy of Evo, and there's some stuff in there about it. So I should really read up on it, see if they've got any additional facts for me. But I'd be intrigued. Actually, I'd quite like it.
I think that could be a really nice way forwards from them, because it takes them into a slightly different place in the market. Regardless of what powers it, it takes them into a new area, which I think is always good.
Yeah, looking at the sort of style, proportions, the power outputs, and the weights, it put me in mind of the Alpine a little bit.
Yeah, well, Smith and Sniff said exactly that in their review when they touched on it. That's exactly what Johnny Smith said. He said it puts me in mind of the Alpine.
I promise I didn't steal it.
No, you're in sterling company with your opinion there, and that's exactly what Johnny Smith says. A little bit of Alpine in this, I think. Yes, but that's not a criticism, clearly.
No. It's just a merely comparison. No, I approve. I like that.
Yeah, I like that. I thought that's nice to see. It's nice to see something a bit different, because we have seen their electric concept for the replacement of the 7.
Oh, the 7, yeah, because I think we even spoke about it, didn't we? I think
we have touched on it on this podcast, and we were saying, well, it was great because it still looked like a Caterham.
It did, and they've managed to somehow so far keep the weight down as well, which is impressive.
Yes, that's right. Despite loading it up with batteries, really good. I think they're doing some interesting stuff there, and that's great to see that from a relatively small company.
Yeah. All for that. Well
I
done.
I don't know whose powertrain they're using. Presumably, it's not an in-house developed one. I mean, it can't be.
No, I don't think so. With their setup, but that's fine. Don't worry about it. It's not like they're making their own engines in the internal combustion versions of the 7 anyway. So why not?
Of course not. No, it's absolutely fine. But really nice to see that. I'm glad you picked up on that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so praising a manufacturer for doing something a bit different because electric really isn't their thing. And now I'm going to go against popular opinion here, I think, and mention a car that was at Goodwood and say this is from a manufacturer who should know better. And for the love of God, people of the car world, have you no eyes at the moment? Because there's been a lot of raving and heaping on praise of the Aston Martin Valeur, and
oh dear,
I think it's a big pile of munting hideousness.
It's not their finest work, is it?
I just going, what are you on about? People think, it's wonderful, isn't it?
It's not.
Have you looked at it? I'm all for a brutish car with a daft engine, and that's great. I think, why not get it out your system while you can?
Yeah,
but please package it better. That's a dog's dinner.
It's horrible, isn't it? It's absolutely horrible. I mean, that is one of the ugliest cars I've ever seen.
Yeah, but I'm not wrong. People have been just piling on the praise for that, and just
I don't get it. I don't get it at all.
No,
it's horrible from every angle.
I'm quite pleased that you came to the same conclusion. I was.
Are you afraid I was going to really like it?
Well, everyone else seems to.
No, I don't get that at all. That is horrible. Really horrible. I don't. Whichever angle you pick it from. I'm just scrolling through some pictures now, and it's just awful from every direction.
I know. I've gone back to looking at some photos, thinking, right, come on, it's got to be something. No,
it's just horrible. I mean, literally from every angle. I don't know what they're doing with that. I really don't understand that.
No, and do you know the headlights annoy the piss out of me as well, because
the rear lights are horrific as well.
The rear lights are bad, but the front ones look like they've gone, right, we've styled the front, but we can't afford to make our own headlight unit. So what we'll do is we'll nip down, we'll go full 70s on this and go nip down and get a sealed Lucas unit and just slap that on the front.
Oh, that'd be fine.
One either side, bosh.
Yeah, job done.
Just, I don't know. I don't know.
I can't. Yeah, I don't know what they were going for.
No.
Even changing the colour doesn't help.
No.
Are they trying to make it look like a Mustang? I don't know.
I don't know what they're trying.
I don't know what. It's horrible. That is. I would go as far as to say that is the ugliest car they have ever made.
Yeah, it's right up there, isn't it? I'll be honest.
Yeah, it is.
I can't think of an uglier one offhand, so I'm willing to go along with that.
Yeah, that's bad. That's really bad. Yeah.
But it's just, again, it's just,
I don't understand why everybody's raving about it.
I understand that they can get all excited about the powertrain and go, right, that's proper analog, that's big engine, manual gearbox, happy days, lovely. I think, yep, why not? Yeah, go for it. But
why do you have to package it in that? I'm not claiming it's necessarily a bad car. It just looks awful.
Yeah, don't know.
No, that's gone wrong. Something's gone wrong there.
Right, I'm glad it's not just me, because
no, that's nasty.
Yes, it is. Fine, good. I know.
Good. We're in agreement there. Yes.
We agree often. There's not much conflict unless we get to sort of what's we deem as most beautiful car. That's the only time where we really have got strong opinions against one another.
Yeah, we are divided when it comes to beautiful, but we are united on ugly. Yes,
yes, we are. We are right. Where should we go from here? Right, let's have a hint of motorsport, but not anything to do with racing. Purely an unveiling. You know, a while back when I was doing it wasn't even nearby to go into Le Mans. It was actually quite a lot before that, as I recall. We were talking about the new hypercars that were going, and lots of manufacturers are coming back. And we mentioned that Lamborghini was going to be coming back to the top part of Le Mans. It was unveiled. The Lamborghini SC63.
Oh,
catchy little name, that one.
Yeah, I'll get them coming in. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's quite clearly a racing car, but they've managed to actually make it look like a Lamborghini. That, I think, is quite cool. I mean, it's not beautiful, but you can look at it and go, "Yeah, it's a Lambo."
Yeah, you sort of can't you? I mean, partly because of the colour, I suppose, but
yeah, that does help. But yeah, I think that's well done them. So let's go in.
It's bonkers enough to be a Lambo, isn't it? Yes,
that's it. So, like we said before, it's entering into LMDH, which is kind of the slightly cheaper way in, because it's the chassis and the hybrid system are basically given to you. They're all off the shelf, for the want of a better word, or words. And then you do the body, the aero, and the engine. So
okay, so it's sort of coach built.
Sort of, yes. So they're basically saying, right, well, you're in charge of packaging and the internal combustion bit.
Yeah.
So it gives everyone a bit of free rein, and like we said before, the combined output of the internal combustion and the hybrid system are limited to 680 horsepower. So however you want to power it is up to you, but that's the limit. So it's quite. So yeah, Lamborghini have chosen 3.8 liter twin turbo V8 to be paired with the hybrid system that's in it. Yeah, fair play.
And that's going to be competing next year.
Yep, that's going to start. It'll do. I think I read. Obviously, it will be at Le Mans, but with it being LMDH, so it can go to all the American stuff as well. So there's a good chance that we'll see it in January at the Daytona 24-hour.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Cool.
So that will be cool. Yeah, it'd be nice to see it. Remains to be seen if it's going to be any good, if I'm honest, because Lamborghini and Le Mans haven't got a glorious history.
Okay.
It's not really a thing.
No. No, it's not a name you associate with Le Mans, is it?
No, it's not really a name you associate with racing in any.
No, it's not. That's true. It's not.
They've dabbled.
It's not what they do, though, is it? Really?
No, there have been times where they've appeared in Formula One as engine suppliers.
Okay.
But not for quite some time, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I say, not synonymous with racing, but be very interested to see how this fares, because it's obviously now it's not purely Italian owned or anything, so there's probably a bit better organization the further up the chain you go.
Yes, I would think.
So yeah, it'd be interesting, although like I said, just not holding my breath.
No. No, like you say, there's not a lot of pedigree there, is there? So
there's not. Right, what else? Right, another car. This wasn't Goodwood, but this one caught my eye. And you and I can get on board with a practical 4-seat saloon with good performance.
Well, very much so. Yes,
that's a bit of us.
Yeah, we're into that. Yeah.
I've got a manufacturer for you that I wasn't entirely expecting to lump fast saloon into. Koenigsegg.
Yeah, that's not a name when you think of when you say saloon. No, that's weird.
Have you seen the Koenigsegg Gemera? Gemera.
I have not.
Okay. Right. While you're searching for that, I'll give you the headline, shall I?
Please do.
So it's a 4-seat saloon with, like I said, with ample performance, very practical. The performance being 2,300 horsepower.
Well, you need that for your weekly shop, don't you?
You do, yes.
I'm forever thinking this would be so much easier to get, the milk and the eggs and things in if it had over 2,000 horsepower. I'm always thinking that in the Tesco car park. The little space here would be so much easier to back out of if only I had over 2,000 horsepower. It's just what you need, I think.
That's exactly that. Yes. So, but you're also getting 2,028 pounds-feet of torque for that, for your power output there. Absolutely.
That's not going to do a lot for your eggs.
No, it's going to tear up the car park you're in as well.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So this is impressive. I'll give them that. So 1,500 of those horsepower come from the V8 engine, which in itself is quite an achievement.
It's only a V8. I was expecting you to say it was a V12.
No, V8.
Okay.
Mated to a 100. No, don't be silly. 800 horsepower single motor.
Okay. Oh, it's electric.
Yeah, hybrid jobby. Yeah. So
okay. Oh, sorry, I hadn't. Okay, right.
Yep. So there you go.
I've not come across this at all. Wow.
That's how you reach your 2,300 horsepower.
Of course it is. Yes, of course it is.
Should you be in the market for it, it's expected to get to customers in 2025.
It yeah. That's interesting, isn't it?
I'm assuming you fired up some pictures of this now.
Oh, I'm looking at it. Yeah.
Right. And if Aston Martin are paying attention at all, that's how you make a car look nice.
It is. Yeah, there's a little bit of Taycan certainly to the front of that.
Yeah. It's quite a nice looking thing.
Not bad. Not bad.
What I'm quite pleased about is what you really need as well. Look at some of the interior shots, and with your car rocking to 2,300 horsepower, the cup holders look really robust.
Well, they'd have to be, wouldn't they?
They need to be gripping onto that coffee for dear life.
They really do. Otherwise, that's going in your lap.
Yeah.
And you're not going to be a happy camper. Oh, yes. Okay. They've gone. It's quite they've gone for the Tesla style single central screen, I notice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Although there are some buttons on the oddly shaped steering wheel. It's
yeah. Well, actually, oddly shaped steering wheel. I'm going back in for a further look. Where's the steering
well, it's not round.
Oh, mind you, on a performance car these days, good luck trying to find a round one.
Yeah, I know. They seem to have given up with it. Butterfly doors, by the look of it.
Yes, very. I mean, incredibly long, obviously, because it's not a 4-door, despite being a 4-seater.
No, it's not, is it? It's a 2-door saloon. Yes.
The rear seats look ample. I'll give them that.
Yeah, they do. Legroom looks sensible.
Looks feasible.
Like you said, it looks actually quite practical.
Oh, yeah.
Any pricing or anything yet?
Not that I've seen.
Okay. No, I haven't seen. Well, I haven't seen it at all. So that's
no, true. Actually, one thing
saying here.
One thing that I did
hello! Party's over. I found a price.
Before you get to the price, obviously, with it still being internal combustion, it's got the flappy paddles and a gearbox attached to it.
Yeah, well, hybrid, you said, yeah.
Yeah. But still, there's a gearbox in there. So it's called a light-speed transmission.
Is it?
Yes. I'd imagine it'd have to be something pretty beefy to put up with all of that.
Yeah, I think it would. Yeah.
That's... Oh, dear.
They will be limited to only 300, though.
Oh,
they're only making 300.
We need to get in there relatively quick. Is that what you're saying?
Relatively quick, and you're going to need to open your wallet.
I can open it.
You can open the wallet. Yeah, it's not an issue opening it. Yeah, to the tune of £1.4 million.
I see. Well, that's quite interesting because there's a part of me that went. I was expecting more.
Yeah, a bargain. Yeah, prices will start from 1.4 million.
Mm-hmm. That's up there, isn't it? So what?
It's a big number. Yeah, it's a big number.
It is, but just imagine doing that. Doing the Le Mans trip in that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You might need a roof box for all the camping gear, but you might want a heavy-duty roof box if you.
Oh, I don't know if it comes with a fitment for roof bars. They might have forgotten about that.
I reckon a nice.
Yeah, but your Thule is going to be through the windscreen of the car behind you.
Yeah, there's a good chance that you'll be on the Channel Tunnel. You'll go and do your little trip. You pull away in Calais. You'll leave the train faster than anticipated, and the roof box will remain in situ. It'd be like an old Warner Brothers cartoon where the car would leave and then the roof box would stay exactly where it is.
The luggage would stay
directly down onto the floor. Yeah,
that's how it would work. Yeah, that's right. And then you've lost your pants then. So, yeah, that's an issue. That's an issue. I'm going to go out on a limb and say I bet it doesn't have fitments for a roof box, but it's got a glass pano roof. I can see that.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, it's It's certainly got a price tag on it.
It does. And you know what? Ordinarily, when things like this come out, I just go, nah, don't care.
Yeah, you just sort of brush it off, don't you? When
Koenigsegg do it, I'm actually interested.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Because they don't. Well, they've made a significant name for themselves, but not by producing anything you ever see.
No, I can count the Koenigsegg's I've seen in real life on one hand.
Yeah, exactly. That's not a bad looking thing, though, as you say. There's a lesson in that for Aston Martin.
Yeah, I mean, purely going off the back of the utter nonsense that we were talking about a minute ago when everyone...
Yeah.
I mean, if the internet's anything to go by, then I would suggest that the car world will hate this because they're loving the video.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
There is a bit of Taycan about this.
There is, yeah. That's not a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad thing at all. Because the Taycan is a really nice looking car, as we know. Yeah, interesting.
One amusing thing is that they made, like I said, it's a hybrid, but they've got just the single motor, but quite beefy. I mean, 800 horsepower.
It must be. Yeah,
that's a big old powerful motor, and they've
fair old lump that. Yeah,
comedy value. It's called Dark Matter.
Of course it is. Of course it is. Yes, they've been watching Star Trek, haven't they? And they thought, that sounds cool.
Yep. So
it's completely meaningless.
Yeah, absolutely nothing to do with it, but yes, please.
Yes.
Like that.
Oh, very good. Do you think so? Do you not agree, sir, that electrification and hybridization, those are quite difficult words to say.
You got them both out without any issue.
I did all right there, didn't I? Yeah. It may not happen again. Are presenting manufacturers known for a certain thing with the opportunity to do other things, and also giving them the motivation to do these different things, because they've got to have something non-pure internal combustion in the market fairly soon.
I think that could be a thing, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, when it's performance stuff, then it's kind of a given, and everyone seems to be embracing it. Even Lamborghini are finally there now with their latest offering.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of it. Something Revolto. I don't think it's meant to be pronounced like that, but
oh yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, but that is how it is. Yes,
I'm sure it's written like that. It's thinking, are you sure that's what you wanted to be called?
Check that out in all the languages, have you?
Yeah. So, which is fine, but all these are performance brands. Someone made a really good point of going, right, well, all of this technology, and if you're going to embrace it, then you might as well do it properly, because we've got, for instance, Hyundai, or however you want to do it.
Oh, however they're now insisting we say it. Yes.
Yeah. They're smashing it.
Yes, they are. Oh, very much so. They are. Yes.
But not just the off the peg stuff, your Ionics or anything. But we've had the concept car. That was a Goodwood. While we're back on the Goodwood theme.
Yes, it was. It was.
What a thing! What a thing!
Yeah. Yeah. Really
see,
was gorgeous.
That's a company that have gone right. This is a bit of us.
Yeah.
We've got this, and they're doing so well here. They can start doing these, like you were saying. They're doing things that they wouldn't normally do.
Yeah, and I think the electrification and hybridization, I've done it again, is making these manufacturers, and I think it's for two reasons. One, that they're thinking, well, we've got an opportunity here to do something different and interesting, and maybe change the brand. But it's also, and we touched on this with Lotus and the Electra, if they don't do something like this that might, and well, I'm not going to claim this Koenigsegg is in any way mass market, at £1.4 million.
No, they're not in the same sort of ballpark or market or anything with Lotus.
But if they don't start doing some stuff that's maybe a bit different and taking themselves in a different direction, they're going to have a problem in a minute.
And that, I think, is Christian is the name of the guy?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah, Koenigsegg. Yeah.
Yes, I don't think he minds what powers his cars.
No, that's the thing, isn't it?
He wants it to be a technical masterpiece. And when we get the full electric ones, which we'll inevitably get, they'll be tremendous too.
Yeah, I think that's it, isn't it? They don't actually care.
No.
If electric is the best thing to do it with, we'll do it with electric. Mate Rimac has actually said the same thing, ironically. That the car that he produced, he made it electric because electric was the best thing to do it with.
Yeah.
It was going to produce the best of what he wanted to produce. So, therefore, it was going to be electric. It's not for any environmental reasons or any legislation that may or may not be coming. It's because it was the best thing to do.
Yeah.
And that's just it. And I think with Koenigsegg, they may, as you say, they may be going down the same route. That actually they're doing it. They've made it a hybrid, and the next one might be pure electric. Because actually that's the best way to go. They're going to get more power and more performance, and for less weight and less space taken up in the vehicle and all that kind of stuff. It's in many ways an easier drivetrain to package.
Well, technically it should be, but everyone keeps putting them in bloody SUVs. But
but that's just laziness.
We'll gloss over that particular.
Although, again, as we've touched on with Lotus, it's for them particularly. I mean, I don't know if you've seen their latest sales figures. Abysmal. So they have to find a way to mass market, or at least more mass market than they are now, or they ain't going to be there at all.
No, I mean, I think they must be doing all right now. They've had a big.
It's not brilliant.
They've had a decent shift, haven't they? I think they've got. I think they're heading in the right direction.
I think it's improving. It's still not brilliant. But Electra has only just come out, so give that a chance to see what it can do. And I know, like we've said before, people have all made the noises. Oh, it's terrible! Lotus doing an SUV is so completely against everything they stand for, and it's a travesty to the brand and all that nonsense. But they haven't actually got a lot of choice.
No, they'll do it. But I mean, the Emira is proving popular.
It is.
I've seen a lot of them.
Yeah, that's true. But I wonder if with Koenigsegg, it's kind of a step in that direction as well, that maybe they do want something. I'm not, again, going to claim it's mass market, but it might be heading towards something ultimately that may be a little bit more mass market than what they've produced so far. Because a saloon always will be.
Yeah. But they've done the saloon in a very different way. But, I mean, we joke and go 1.4 million. They'll sell. They'll all be gone.
Yeah, they will all be gone. You're right.
No
they will.
Issues
they will.
There.
No, that's right. There's plenty of people who'll be happy to blow 1.4 million on that in order to have something that no one else does. Or very few people. They're only making 300. So they'll have something that they'll probably never see another one.
Exactly that. And
that's what they're paying for, the exclusivity.
Yeah. But then you think, well, I mean, Koenigsegg, when even the second-hand ones, they're strong money. And you think, the one that came up actually from one of the Goodwood auctions, there was the only one in existence because of, really crap timing and rule changes in the GT1 racing class.
I saw this, yeah.
The Koenigsegg CC GT.
Yes.
The GT1 car that never raced.
That's right.
The only one that there is, and that's quite strong money. It was about 3 or 4 million.
About that. But I see it has now been certified to go racing.
Yeah.
So
It can go
whoever
in.
buys it can actually enter
Is
it.
it? I think it's the Masters that they call
Yes.
it, is an endurance racing series
That's
for
right.
cars of that particular era.
And they have now certified it to go racing next year.
Yeah.
So whoever buys it will be able to take it racing.
Because it was built to spec, so I don't see a reason why they could have turned it down.
No, I don't think it hasn't been modded to make
No.
it go racing. They've just said, yeah, all right then.
Yeah.
Next year, if you buy it, you can go, and it comes with the certificate saying that it can take it racing next year. So yes, I did see that was at Goodwood. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Oh dear, look at us. You're talking about racing cars. Look at you go.
I know. Who'd have thought, eh?
And
you brought up a saloon.
I know. Madness. Can I throw another racing car into a mix that was actually involved in a race weekend just gone?
You can certainly try.
It's not. I'm not going to dwell on it too much, but I'm just worth mentioning. When was it Le Mans this year for the main race? I think I mentioned on it that we will on the Friday. We watched the Road to Le Mans race. Which is LMP3 and GT3. Basically, it's the class before you get to the big boys.
Right.
We witnessed a certain Mr. Valentino Rossi win the GT3 class in that, having changed disciplines since retiring from MotoGP. And two-wheeled devices.
Yeah.
So he's doing very nicely. But on Sunday he marked his first win in the GT World Challenge series, which he's been competing in for a year and a half now.
Okay.
Him and Maxime Martin brought their Team WRT BMW M4 GT3 home in first place.
Ooh.
So begs the question, doesn't it? We're going, right, well, do you think he can be a champion on four wheels too?
Well, the early evidence would suggest that he can.
Yeah, and he certainly puts bums on seats, which is another thing.
Yes, that's a big part of it these days.
Yeah, and another question that's been posed of it, because he races for, like I said, Team WRT. They are very much in bed with BMW. If all of the press is to be believed, the Team WRT will be fielding one of the BMW LMP hybrids next year.
Okay.
So they'll do a full series. So which means, are we in the potential position of having what is he? In total 9-time world champion on two wheels, competing in the top class of Le Mans next year.
Well,
that would be quite something.
That would be quite something. Yeah, I think it's a distinct possibility, isn't it?
I mean, I know we've had people switch disciplines and do these sort of things. I mean, Sebastian Loeb, for instance, was an avid competitor at Le Mans. He's been, I think he's been second place more times than can shake a stick at. The poor sod never got first.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just one of those significant moments, isn't it? When you sort of see, right, okay, he's starting to get, there's a little bit of pace being gathered for wins in the GT cars.
Yeah.
There's enough of a connection to teams and manufacturers in the top class. You go, we could have something pretty special here.
It could happen, couldn't it? It could happen. Yeah.
Yeah. If you go back far enough, in 2006, he repeatedly tested Formula One cars for Ferrari.
Right. Okay.
Including one test where he competed in an official Formula One test against the actual drivers and held his own.
Oh, fair dues.
And you think, okay, that's not too shabby.
No,
and
it's not.
There was all this going, will he, won't he? Will he make that switch? Thinking, well, no one since John Surtees has done both. He's the only man ever to be motorcycle world champion and Formula One world champion.
Yeah.
But there was obviously, with it being more corporate these days, more money involved. They wanted him to be a reserve driver for a year, not to do MotoGP while he was being reserve driver. Then potentially the year after, he would be put in a car. We go, well, someone like him's not going to exist on potential.
No, indeed.
It's
Interesting. Well, I mean, people's careers move on, don't they?
They do. He's getting a bit, getting on a bit now in terms of racing driver years. Anyway, well, certainly motorbike.
He's probably more interested in a bit more of a comfortable seat than you get on a motorbike. Yeah.
Mind you, you've seen seats in racing cars. I don't know what I'd rather, actually.
Oh, well, yeah, there is that, I suppose. Yeah, but it's a pity this BMW is quite such an ugly thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's fortunately in racing spec, it's less obvious that it's a bit of a munter.
Well, yeah, I suppose a little bit.
Did you look up a picture? Did you?
I'm looking at pictures now. Yeah.
Oh, okay, fine. Well done, you.
Yes.
You've got racing cars in your search history now.
Oh, I know. So it's terrible.
You silly boy. Yes, there you go. I promise I'll leave racing alone for this week now.
No, fair dues. No, you made some valid points there. Yeah.
Okay, right. What other treats you got for us, if anything?
Well, something that popped out for me at Goodwood, and we've been talked about electric a lot this week, funnily enough, which was not intended particularly.
No.
A new British manufacturer, I don't know if you have come across them, called Charge Cars, which is obviously a bit of a punny name.
Yeah.
Yes. And you can order from them a brand new EV that is a pretty exacting replica of a 1960s Mustang.
Yes, I have seen this.
Yes.
I don't think this is their first time at Goodwood.
It might not be. No, it might not be.
What a thing. What a thing.
Oh, absolutely. Fantastic. And the one they had there was in the bullet green.
Oh, yeah.
And it really does look like a 1960s Mustang. They've done a really nice job.
They have. Packaging's really nice as well, because you've got, despite it looking exactly like a Mustang, they managed to get all of the batteries in the floor. Yes.
Yeah. Again, the battery right in the floor, so you can have a really low center of gravity, which is going to make it nice and stable. They've done like the Tesla Model S upright center screen for the software. That's the only sort of deviation inside.
I mean, it's not a huge deviation, if I'm honest with you, because
I think it looks quite nice. They've set it below the dash line, so it would be hard to see from outside.
And the dash is really reminiscent of a Mustang dash.
Yeah, it is.
The double bubble of the dash.
That's right. Low bit in the center. Yeah.
I really like that. Being
nice.
Fortunate enough to have spent some time in an old Mustang, they've really got that.
I think
modern take on that.
Yeah, they put a lot of effort into that, but pure electric. And really tasty. I thought I approve of that. And as Richard Porter said when he looked at it, people say EVs are boring, they're just white goods. Well, they don't have to be. You can have one in the shape of a 1960s Mustang.
He does have a point. I mean, we're at a place in time and going, right, some of these are appliances now, but it's nice to know that people do still give a toss. Yeah,
and there's people out there saying, we're going to go all electric, but we do want something that looks interesting. Yes. And I think that looks fabulous because it's so true to the original.
It is, but absolutely love it. I'm assuming you've checked specs more than I have, because I'm only going off of memory. But is it rear-wheel drive only?
Yeah, I believe so. At least at the moment, it's a single motor rear drive. Yeah,
Absolutely brilliant.
63 kilowatt hour battery.
Again, who gives a toss?
Well, exactly. Yeah, quite. It's
when it looks like that.
I don't think they even quoted a particular range figure, but very low volume, hand built. Starting price, I can't see it in pounds here, but starting price of $450,000.
$450,000, or in pounds, 450,000 pounds.
Yes.
Sorry, I know that's pathetic. I'll tell you what, right? I'll do it. I've got a currency converter. I'm doing it.
You tell us.
I'm doing it. So we're going from United States dollar to the British pound, which is
Great British pound.
You say Great British pound. Where is the pound gone?
Oh dear.
It's either not listed or I can't do alphabet. I know which one I'm going with.
Yeah, me too.
Why is that not in the list? There it is. I've got it.
Oh, well done.
£450,000. Oh, okay. I mean, to say okay, like I'm pleasantly surprised. It's give or take some pounds and pence, 350,000 English pounds.
Okay, well there you go then. Yeah. So yeah, 350 grand will get you a Charge Mustang.
Very nice. Oh, I tell you what you don't want to do here is, while I'm on the currency converter, is it goes, would you like to look at the graph that tracks the value of the pound over the last 5 years? And I clicked and I went, no, I didn't want to do that. I'm closing that.
Yeah, don't show us that. No.
Oh dear. Let's not go down the politics route, even though you and I agree entirely on that as well.
We do, but that's really not something we get into on this podcast.
No. Yes, 2 of those, I think.
I think so, yes.
Although I fear they may be almost identical spec when they arrive.
Sadly, we're probably not going to be able to tell the difference between them until the number plates are screwed on.
No, this is true. But mind you saying that, I think when we did those minis, I think we both ended up with the same car with different coloured stripes. Or thereabouts, wasn't it?
That was about it. Yeah, I think so. That was the only difference. I think I went for a white roof and white stripes. You went for a black roof and black stripes. Apart from that, they were identical.
Oh God, we're not good at making this interesting. We're not good at clickbait.
No, we're not. Conflict and debate is been difficult to drum up on this podcast.
No, yes. I'll just bring up the 240. Not 240, 250 short wheelbase. That'll.
Oh yes, that's horrible. Anyway,
we're consistent.
Yes, indeed. But that was certainly something that stood out to me at Goodwood. I thought that was ace.
Yeah. Well, good shout from you there, sir. I don't know if I had anything else from Goodwood. Again, the McLaren Solus GT won the shootout. And
okay. Yeah.
Couldn't give a toss.
No
interest whatsoever because it's not relevant. Again, oh yeah, but it's awesome track car. Again, yep, that you can't use on the road, that you have to fanny around with for an hour before you can actually use it.
Yes.
And again, coming back to the valeur, have you got eyes? Have you seen this thing? Awful.
Yeah, it's a really yeah. There was one thing actually, which again is slightly motorsport related.
Go on, I'm all ears.
MG used the show to unveil the new MG4 X Power, which is the new kind of hot version of the MG4 5-door hatch. They'd done a concept they were showing there, which of the MG4 X Power, which was a tribute to the old Metro 6R4. All done up in the same livery, splitter on the front, big spoiler on the back. Whether they're going to, I mean, I think it was probably just a kind of plaything for the show and not I don't know it's going to come to anything. But
yes, I know what you mean. Now you've mentioned it, I did see it doing the Twitter rounds at the time.
Yes, it's called the EX4, but it is just a concept. But as I say, based on the Metro Group B car.
Nice.
Yeah, I thought that was nice. They also unveiled the final version of the Cyberster.
Yes, saw that as well.
2-seat EV sports car.
Yeah, nice. I think the price is annoying a few people, but you go, well, don't buy it then.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, yeah, all right, that one's a bit more pricey, but it is what it is. You know, you can have the 5-door hatch for 25 grand. So what are you moaning about?
Quite. They've. I really like that the X-Power names come back.
Yes, because we've seen that before, haven't we?
Yeah, like that.
Yeah,
I didn't really twig at the time, but now
I didn't.
Yes,
but reading about it since, it has come up before.
someone's thinking about it. Fair play.
Paying attention to the history there. Yes.
Yeah, I mean that's recent history, actually, isn't it? As well, so
that is relatively recent history. I mean, yeah, I guess it is. Yeah,
I quite like that. That's we've lumped a lot of praise on them, and if they keep doing things like this, that's all they're going to get at the moment from us.
Yeah, absolutely. The I've just looked it up. The MG X-Power SV from 2007.
Oh yeah, you remember the SV, don't you? Because it's got the everyone was very keen on it because Jeremy Clarkson banged his head.
He banged his head in it. Yes, that's right. And they played that clip over and over.
Over and over. It was funny.
It was.
Don't get me wrong.
Smacked his head against the whatever it was, the roll cage or whatever was in it. Yeah.
Yeah, enjoyed that enormously.
Yeah.
Never get bored of seeing that. Yes, and everyone remembers the car as well because going, well, it's a bit of a part spin special, particularly like the Fiat Punto headlights. But
yeah, it was a bit of a dog's breakfast, and it was slightly funny looking from some angles, but
really like it though. Actually,
yeah, it was a V8.
Yeah.
Obviously, the new one isn't. The new one's electric, but
no, because that one had the Ford V8, didn't it? I assume Mustang engine from the time. Was it?
Oh, did it? You could be right. The one that they shoehorned into the ZT.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, because it was and the one that ended up in the SV, they did. They used the 4.6 and the 5 litre in that, I think.
Okay, you could be right. You could be right. It probably is the same engine they did in the shoehorned into the rebadged Rover 75. Yes,
same designer as the McLaren F1, as I recall, as well.
Very good. Yes, you could well be right. Yes,
Peter Stevens. Yes.
Could argue not his finest work.
All right, it's not as elegant as a McLaren F1, but
it's not.
It's a bold piece of styling. I've got a lot of time for that.
There was an F1 at Goodwood. I saw it. Well, not personally, I wasn't there, but I saw it in videos. Yes.
Yeah, it was the silver one that was there, wasn't it?
Silver one, yeah, that's right.
It was on the Cartier lawn, I believe.
Oh, you could be right. Yes.
Yeah. So I've read everything, seen it all, and just as well as everyone moaning about the queues to get in, it's just
indeed, but
it does seem to be a problem. I've known a few people who've gone and went, it is a bit of a zoo.
Yeah.
And some part of me was right, actually, I'd quite like to tick it off, but a lot of people have been and said, look, if you can get in with a fancier ticket, yes, you're still going to have to queue, but you don't have to deal with the zoo of people once you're inside.
Yeah, it does sort of make you think, I'm not sure I can be bothered with that. But yeah,
when we went to the Classic this year, fortunately we've got slightly better passes,
right?
And we can get into the fancy places, which was quite handy.
Yeah,
we can get away from the crowd while simultaneously getting closer to the really exotic things.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's one of those ones to go right. Actually, save up a little bit. Maybe
get yourself a proper ticket and just not have to deal with it. Yeah.
Or say bollocks to it and go to the Revival.
Well, that's probably where it's at, actually, isn't it? To be honest,
that's they do that in September time, is it?
Something like that. Yeah, I mean, you have to dress up for that, but that's okay.
Well, you say it's okay. I mean, you got to buy the ticket and then buy the clothes, because nothing that I own fits and would be deemed smart enough or in keeping with.
Yeah, it's a valid point. Yeah.
So maybe that's the following September. So we got time to save up, not just for the ticket, but for the clobber,
for the wardrobe as well.
Yes,
that's valid. Valid point.
Okay.
You got to get the tweed on the go for that. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Right. Okay. There's a plan of action. There's a nice sort of rounding off point, because what we said, I intend to stick to it. What we said this year is we'll do the classic car show, which doesn't have a dress code.
It most certainly does not. No, up at the NEC.
That's right.
There's no dress code anywhere in Birmingham. I think we're fairly safe in saying that.
No, it will be in very good company with sort of round-ish shaped midriffs and clothing. Whereas Goodwood, like I said, we'll have to prep for that. So yes, this year, Duff and Waffle are fully intending to go to the Classic Car Show. Following year, bit of Goodwood revival.
Bit of Goodwood revival. I've always quite fancied that. Yes.
Okay. Sold. That's us. We've said we've locked in the plan for the Classic Car Show, but we've got a date for 2024 in the calendar as well.
Oh, it's bold.
It is. No, we're doing it. Let's not mess about. There we go. It's on. I was going to say it's on tape. Bloody hell, we're old.
Oh dear.
Give up. Press stop. All done.
Well, I think that's probably enough of that for this week. Check us out on all the various social medias and things. Thank you very much for listening.